The Artist TV in association with Block 5 Entertainment, and we're here with Sammee Timmars. You know what time it is, obviously you know what we do, we keep it real. Sammy's here, so that shows me she's keeping it real. What's good over there, you good?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
I'm here. Yeah. Okay, let's start this at the top.
Go for it. Why
did you get yourself into the Instagram live thing? What made you start doing that?
When I first came on back in 2016, it was to just post knowledge, spread knowledge. Then it got 2 years in and I'm starting to pick up the fact that people are actually bothered about what comes out of my mouth. I'd jump into lives, say my comments. Everyone would start being, oh, hi, Sammy's in the live, adder, you know, listen to what she says. Then it just went from there. Like, then I realised, you know what, I've obviously, it's took a lot of people telling me I've got some sort of presence online. So I've decided to run away with it because I have a lot to say, a lot going on in here.
Yeah. Alright, so obviously there's a lot of names surrounding you at the moment and things that people want to know on both sides.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start this with someone called Trevor, aka Mad Bad Triad.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start it on how did you and him link up? What made that come about?
I come across him on J Gang's live.
Yeah.
And I watched him for a little bit and I didn't realise he's actually locked up in a mental rehabilitation centre. I felt like I needed to carry on observing him and watching him to understand why a lot of people, because he'd get trolled a lot. So I wanted to understand why he was being trolled when he's always been showing kindness or respect towards me. I actually tried to ask him for an interview for a good 6 months and he weren't having a bar of it. But in the end, he realised, you know, I'm a true supporter. So yeah, that's how I came across him.
Okay, so in the time you knew him, and still obviously now, like you say, you're rocking his stuff over there.
Yeah.
What was the deepest your two's relationship become?
It's never. It's a deep relationship. It's a deep relationship, but it's not a romantic one like most people say online. I don't know how much people out there watch Trevor. He's always saying he's got girls. You know, he does get girls. You know, even though he's locked up, he does have a bunch of girls surrounding him. Trevor's a G. Like, when people say to me, "Is that your boyfriend?" I'm like, "Yeah." Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to boost him. I'm not one of those that's going to be nasty to him. I'm not going to make him look shit. So yeah, it's not a romantic relationship. I've never slept with him. I've never kissed him romantically. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, let's get into the track. Obviously, he's got a track with you.
Right.
That he keeps promoting.
I didn't think that would come up. But
How did that come about?
So I went to visit him. And all he wanted to do was make a track. He's been saying it for the longest, and like I said, if there's anything I can do to support anyone, I'm there. I don't give a shit. I'll dress up as a clown. One thing I won't do is twerk, but yeah, that's what he wanted to do. I was there to support him, whether that would be go for a meal, whether that would be play with some dolls, I don't know, but make a track is what he wanted to do. So he brought down all his equipment and he said, yeah, come on Sammee, like, I want to do it with you. And I was like, all right, cool. So the 3 hours I think it was that I was there, that's what we did.
Yeah. So what do you yourself think of the track? Like, where do you see it going?
I love it. To be honest, I didn't have faith in it. Like, I'm so sorry, Trevor. I didn't have faith in it because music's not my passion. It's not something I've taken up, but I know that music's his passion, and I don't really know. I can't really see it going places, but I can see Trevor going places.
Yeah.
I think that because he's a good soul, he's a good person at heart, and he's got good intentions, so I think that's going to take him far.
Yeah. So you yourself have just showed us that you never see nothing in it sexual.
No.
You wasn't his girlfriend. Obviously, you like to make him feel good.
Yeah, I mean, I've said to people, yeah, that's my man. Like, don't mess about, whatever. But you know, I do the whole flirty thing. I can't sit here and say that I don't. Me and Trevor always banter like that, and you know, like I said, I'm not out here to make Trevor look stupid, not one bit. So,
but would you say that in his mind, he kind of got the feeling that you was his missus? Because even in that track, he's calling you his missus.
No,
he's saying
I think,
you're his world.
Yeah, I think he's done a lot of videos saying, you know, Sammy's my angel, and he's done a lot of videos saying things along those lines. But I truly believe that it's because I'm the one person that's consistently showed him support. And I think when you're locked up in a situation like that, you tend to cling on to that kind of support. Do you get what I mean? So if someone's coming to you, because I don't know how much you know, but Trevor's not had many supporters at all in terms of coming to visit him. Yeah. It's all online shit. Like, no one's actually come out of their way to visit Trevor. So I think when I was there and he felt my energy, that I was really there to support him. Yeah. I think he just clings on to that. So to him, that means the world. And it means the world to me that I can even uplift someone, you know. There's been times where I've stayed on the phone to him all day. Like, I've had my headphones in and I get on with the cooking or I get on with the cleaning, because in my mind it's like, that's the difference between him committing suicide or him having a good day. Yeah. So I do try to balance it out, and for certain reasons I've kept a distance for the past couple of weeks. Yeah. But yeah, I don't really know. I've had other people suggest that he's took it on, and I took that on board. Yeah. And I kept a bit of a distance. I even said to him, you know, I don't think this is a good idea. I just want to make it straight with you. Like, you know, I'm never ever going to be in a sexual relationship with you or a emotional one with you. I feel a lot for him, just not in that way. Yeah.
But on the real, what made you get as deep in with the friendship? Like you said, a lot of people are just gassing. They're not going to see him.
That's
obviously you going to see him. You're a female. Yeah. He's gonna get ideas.
Yeah.
What made you go that far in?
A few reasons. I think that I don't want to come across vain, right? But a lot of people are like, oh, you know, she's a buff girl. What the fuck's she doing with him? And blah blah blah. It's got nothing to do with that. If I've got something that can help someone in some sort of way, I'm doing it. I don't care. So, you know, I've got 3 children. I've got my responsibilities. I've been in certain situations that I relate with Trevor. So with that being said, I decided to put my own money into going to visit him. You know, I had to rebook train tickets. That shit went up to like $280. I could have put that into my kids. Do you know what I mean? So I travelled miles to go see him. I left my house at 8 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get there till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had to leave at 5. Yeah. So that is some sort of like, you know, dedication to what I'm saying. But I think it's just because I do genuinely feel for the guy. You know, he's locked up. If anyone's been jail, you'll understand that shit is hard. If anyone's been locked up anywhere, it's hard. Yeah. You know, the walls start talking to you and shit. So that's more of where it came from. I bought his clothes before I went to go visit him. Yeah. I'm just a real supporter, like all the way through, basically.
Okay, well, let's talk about his rap for a minute, because we're not here to disrespect no one.
Yeah.
But he's whack. A lot of people are saying he's whack.
Yeah, right. Okay, I have an opinion on this.
Yeah, like, for him to keep doing the things he's doing on Instagram, most of it people are just laughing at. What do you think about that?
Okay, I personally believe in different frequencies and wavelengths. Now, when you do music, you write music on different frequencies and wavelengths. Somebody that has paranoid schizophrenia, somebody that has bipolar or whatever else mental health, will see and hear things and taste things and feel things on a different level to your average person that doesn't have mental health. Yeah. So what might sound shit to you might sound good to somebody else. Just for example, I think Taylor Swift is whack, but she's doing it, so I can't knock her for it. Do you get what I mean? So I just think it's down to what people like. I mean, the track that me and him did together, it wasn't that bad. Like, let's be real. Like, even his bit, it's like, it might not sound right to some people, but I believe it fit in with the music and the rhythm, and he's got it there somewhere. But we have to bear in mind, this man on my research, is on over 2,000 milligrams per day of medication.
Yeah.
That's no joke. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, I just think people need to see past what they're hearing and see the fact that this man's doing more than my fucking baby dad. Do you know what I mean? Like, he knows how to operate a laptop, he knows how to operate machines, he knows how to put a business together. He's doing more than people that have got their freedom. And I think that's most of where my passion comes from. The fact that he's not just thought, you know what, I'm killing myself, I've had enough.
Yeah.
So, in regards to his music, I don't ever tell him he's whack, because I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I just believe that we're into different sounds, we hear things different, and that's the way that I like to put it.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the fact that you've just shown us there was nothing sexual. You've made him know there's nothing sexual.
Yeah.
But we want to know, how the hell is Trevor up on Instagram swinging round and sniffing your knickers?
Right, so the story behind that, I sent proof to someone, to a friend, when I was in Primark. I know everyone says Primark. I went to a shop the day before I went to go see him, and I thought, do you know what? I'm so sick and tired of people trolling him and talking shit like he can't get a girlfriend. So I'm going to go and give these keyboard bashers something to talk about, because one thing I like to do is give you the rope and watch you hang yourself. So because they were sitting there keyboard bashing this guy, trying to trash him, saying you can't get a girl like Sammee or whatever, I just thought, you know what, let me just play your game and have you bashing that keyboard and wasting your time some more. So I went to the shop, I spent £1 on these knickers. I've never worn them, they're not my knickers, they belong to Primark. And yeah, took it to him. I said, here, Trevor, have a field day with them. He knew they weren't mine. I gave them to him with the tags on. I said to him, you know, take the tags off, swing that shit around, let's get the people talking, fuck them. Like, they're going to say what they're going to say anyway. So that's the story behind the knickers.
Okay, well, let me ask you about this now. I'm not a keyboard basher.
I know.
And there's bare people out there that ain't keyboard bashers. But as soon as they see Trevor swinging round your knickers, the first thought that comes into their head is that he's banging her.
Right.
What about that? What about
Right.
the fact that there's people that are going to say, you know what, I don't care. You're banging Trevor, you've given me your knickers.
Okay, well, first of all, no, I haven't. And second of all, if you know anything about mental rehabilitation centres, this is just to prove that nothing's definitely happened. I wanted to clean his room. And I tried to go up there, past all the staff and that, and they weren't having it. So when I got into the room, I shut the door, immediately started picking stuff up. I'm like, Trevor, right, you do what you're doing. I want to tidy this room. Like, you know, I wanted to wake up with a good mind, whatever. As soon as that door was closed, the staff came in and they were like, you know what, for safeguarding reasons, we have to safeguard you. We have to safeguard Trevor. You can't be in this room alone. So I got told to go all the way back downstairs to the meeting room. Where could I fuck him? Like, do you know what I mean? It's not going to happen. The place is CCTV everywhere. There's guidelines that the staff have to follow in terms of safeguarding. I mean, he had to bring his equipment down for us to do the track. We had to bring that down. He brought that down to the meeting room because we weren't allowed. And when we was in the meeting room, there was someone coming in every, 5-10 minutes, like, you alright, Sammee? And do you know what I mean? Even other patients were coming in and out, wanted to see who's that with Trevor, or it's just a load of shit, man. Get a life. Whoever's talking, honestly, get a life. Put the energy into supporting some people, man. That's what I've got to say to him.
Okay, well, people's listen to what Trevor's saying up there. Obviously, he's got the bright gums all the time. He's got different ones on. He's got all that tin round his neck. People want to know, has Trevor got money up there? Has he got some sort of peas? Because he keeps talking about peas. He's saying he's got his own clothing range.
He's got his own clothing range, definitely. I know that because I've designed a few things for him. But in terms of money, I've never seen a bank statement. I've never allowed him to spend money on me. Like, he's offered me his chains, he's offered me his rings, he's offered me a lot. He's offered me a pizza. Like, I've said no to absolutely everything. Do you know, like, I'm not in this for money, so there's no need for me to ask to see any money, if that makes sense. So I can't really answer that question. I just don't know. But if he's not working and if he's making money off the clothing that he's selling, good on him. But in terms of, like, a mental patient, yeah, they get what is it now? PIP, or disability, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like that truth is out there for everyone to know. If you have a mental health disability, you're going to get paid. But where people think that he's got loads of money, like, you don't get money if you're faced by PIP money. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really ain't shit. It's more than the average person, yes, but it ain't shit.
Yeah. Okay, well, you know yourself through what you've seen on the Insta. People talk. People leave comments.
Yeah.
So just so we clean it up once and for all, the people that say, listen, fuck that. Sammee went to see Trevor because she wanted to play him. She wanted to get whatever money he has got, con it out of him because she knows he's not all there. What do you say to them people? Say it's done.
Prove it. Prove it. Like, if anything, I've spent more money on him. Do you know, when he wanted to offer me gold chains, because he was so overwhelmed with the support, he couldn't believe how nice I was. I've not always been nice, I just want to put that out there. I've been a bitch, but I have always had a heart. People that have gone to school with me will vouch that. You know, I've always been that person that got excluded because I beat up the bullies. So this has always been a part of my life. But in terms of money, what have I got to do? Show bank statements that he's never sent me money? Like, shouldn't I have a gold chain around me right now? Or like, I'm not, do you know what I mean? I'm not that type of person. That's about it, really. When I asked, in fact, he asked me, he said, I really want to thank you in some sort of way. What can I do? I said, well, do you know what? I'll let you buy me a plant. Because he gets to go out sometimes every Monday. So I said to him, okay, well, you can buy me a plant. Make sure that shit don't cost no more than £5 or £10. He went and bought me a plant. And I was happy with that, you know? Like, a plant lasts forever. It's meaningful. Everyone that knows me knows I'm into all that nature shit. So I was happy with that. You know what I mean? That's it, really. That's
so what about them Mondays? Did you ever link him on one of them days when he's outside?
No, he has to go escorted. And for him to go unescorted, that's quite a way away, you know, from where I live, to be just linking him for an hour. Do you know what I mean? It's not realistic what people are saying. It's really not. Before I met him, he wasn't allowed to go out. Through me speaking to him, staying on the phone to him whilst he goes to the shop, you know, people take these things for granted. But things like that, simple task like going to the shop and buying himself a bottle of Pepsi, was a difficult task for him to do. So through me staying on the phone to him and, you know, feeding him positive thoughts, he's ended up getting his, you know, unescorted leave to go to the shop, which might not be a big deal to everyone else, but to me and to Trevor, that's massive. Like, that to me just shows if his mind's in the right place, he can actually get out of there. And you lot have had it. If Trevor actually gets out of there, you lot have had it. He's going to take over the industry, whether you think his music's shit or not. Like, he is a character, he's a good personality to be around. And yeah, how can I meet him on escorted leave? You need one of these badges and all sorts. You need to get your ID checked out. It's not as easy as that. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, last thing on Trevor. Obviously, you get it all clear down what's good. Last thing on him. Like, obviously, what do you see the future being for him? Like, if he did come out of there and he started doing the music, like, he's got people watching him that are all on this stuff. I've seen him talking with African Child. Like you say, he's got connection with J Gang over there. What do you see happening when he comes out of there, if that happens?
You know what? It's scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like, unless he's supported in some kind of supported living, or unless he's got like a mentor that's constantly around him, I think he's actually really quite vulnerable, which makes me a bit sad. But at the same time, I want him to do well. He don't belong in there. Like, I mean, who am I to say that? But this is just my opinion. He don't belong in there. Like, when I walked in there and I saw the other patients, you know, dribbling and looking around like they could see things coming out the ceiling and stuff, and then there's Trevor, who can put a piece of music together or put a track together, make phone calls, get himself in the newspapers. He should not be in there. But when he comes out, if he puts trust in the wrong people, it's not going to be a good situation. And he is aware of that. Like, he gets anxious about things like that. I don't really like to say too much about how he feels, because I feel like he opens up to me differently to other people. Do you know what I mean? So I want to respect that, but yeah, I do get worried, because a lot of these people that he speaks to are not in it for the you know, for the right reasons. A lot of people are clout chasers. No offense to the rappers that he chats to, but you know, for example, do you know what? Fuck it, Benny Banks.
Yeah.
Why the fuck ain't you visited him in all this time? You know, I'll go back and say, I've had 3 children, I've got responsibilities, I had no excuse not to go and visit him and support him. Do you know what I mean? You can go out on a night out, you can arrange to go visit Trevor if you really give a shit. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that he speaks to that, I mean, Trevor sees it different. We actually don't see eye to eye on that, but, and I've told Trevor, I respect the rappers that you speak to, but I still have my opinion. If they care, why have they not brought you on, or why have they not supported you in some sort of way? Like I said, this is why I did the track. I don't give a shit what I look like. It meant something to him. Do you get what I mean? So I see a lot of people trying to get the clout because he gets however many views or whatever it is. I see past all that, you know.
So you tell us some of the names that you know that are talking to him but ain't really showing him no love. What names do you know that are out there and got following and supporters?
J Gang, 100%.
Yeah.
I think he gasses him. He said a lot of horrible things to him. From what I know, you know, there was a little thing where apparently Trevor whipped his little thing out to a 16-year-old. I don't believe that. I believe from what Trevor's told me, and I do believe him, but from what other people have said as well, you know, he was led to believe that the girl on the live was 21. I don't know whether he did whip it out or not. I don't think I knew Trevor around them. I'm not too sure. I haven't seen a video or anything. But J Gang jumped on and said, oh, you know what? He decided to phone the rehabilitation centre. And as a result of that, I believe that Trevor got injected or sedated or something like that and had his phone taken off him. So for me, that's snitch symptoms. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care which way you want to look at it. If you thought really and truly that he did that to a 16-year-old, why not pull him aside and find out the facts first? Because he gets edged into doing things. He gets edged into saying the word nigger. He gets edged into saying certain things that puts Trevor in certain situations. Well, if you give a shit about Trevor, why are you even doing that? You're doing it for views. If you don't care about the views and you don't care about the clout wars that's going on, then why don't you do it in the DMs? Why don't you take it up privately with him? Which is what I do with Trevor. Do you know what I mean? And the other thing I want to say, I've had a lot of people, including J Gang, say, you know, she's told Trevor not to go live with me. That's bullshit. Like, I don't tell anyone what to do, but I do advise, and I won't lie about that. I've said to Trevor, listen mate, if you believe this guy snitched on you, you need to not go live with this guy. Avoid going live with people that you believe can phone up and get you in some shit. I'm not saying block him. I'm not saying don't go live with him. Like, even Trevor, he has a very clouded vision of things sometimes. Like, when me and Trevor spoke about it, I said to Trevor, I said, Trev, I've heard you say to people that I told you to block Gang. And he's like, oh, but you did. And I'm like, no, Trevor, I didn't tell you to block him. I advised you that I believe that's the best thing to do. Because you're easily led into certain situations that are going to fuck up your situation. You're going to be pushed back 10 steps when you've been coming 2 steps forward. If he's got to the point where he's allowed unescorted leave to go to the shop, next thing you hear he's pulling his willy out. That's not helping. But with him
being in the situation he is in, like you've told us, maybe you advising him is making him think that you're telling him not to chat to him. Maybe, how you would
maybe that's how he takes it. But again, it goes back to him having so much medication. How can I expect this individual to remember or to articulate himself properly? Or do you know what I mean? His passion is music, and that's why he never forgets how to do it. But in terms of articulating himself or putting things together, there's times where he said, can you remind me, Sammee? He forgets to have his fucking dinner. You know, I set up alarms on my phone. Make sure you're up for breakfast, Trevor. Don't miss it. It's in half an hour. Lunchtimes. Don't forget your lunch, Trevor. He'll be doing something and the guy will be hungry and he'll forget that he's got to eat. Like, it really is that deep. So I get really pissed off because people like J Gang think they have this understanding of mental health when they have no experience, no understanding. They're not educated on this topic. Do you know what I mean? They've probably never had antidepressants in their life. So you can't tell me nothing about mental health unless you come from that kind of background or work in that sector, or do you know what I mean? So yeah, Trevor says things here and there. I just don't take it seriously. He's the only one I think is allowed to cuss my mum. He's never done that, but I'm just saying, he could cuss my mum. I'll forgive him next day.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about this Instagram live.
Right.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, I see it as dangerous.
It is.
A lot of people are getting drawn into this Instagram live thinking they're stars.
Yeah,
But people are just laughing at them.
Yeah.
But what it is now, I'm going to be real with you regards Trevor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't watch Trevor. Obviously, I knew you're coming to do this, so I'm going to get some information on it.
Yeah.
But I've watched some of his videos on that Instagram, and I've seen him gassing up with young girls.
Oh,
they look like they're girls in school uniforms in the video.
Right.
They're passing the phone around telling them that they're fans of his and they love what he does.
I've seen a few like that. Yeah.
Like, he wasn't saying nothing untoward.
Yeah.
But he was talking. In my eyes, if you get someone who looks like they're underage, dead that off
Lock
straight
them off.
away.
Yeah.
Don't even
Yeah.
waste your time chatting to them.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, 100%. I have advised him that. It's like I said to you, I can advise him, that's all I can do. I can't tell him what to do. Even if I was his mum, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could not tell him. I could advise him best I can, but he's still going to do what he's going to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, through my own experience on Instagram, I've got girls under 18 messaging me. They're in certain situations, whether it be they're pregnant and they don't know what to do, or they're with a partner that's older than them that I believe is inappropriate, and they know that's what I think is inappropriate, and they come to me for support. Now, for me, I understand the whole lock them off thing. I mean, I won't go live with an under 18-year-old, but I will have a conversation in the DMs. And one thing I will say is, this is why I always retain proof of our conversations, because being a youth worker in my past and stuff, I feel like a certain duty is expected of me. And if my daughter went to someone that was over 18, that was in a certain situation, I would like to believe, even though I know we live in a fucked up world, but I'd like to believe that they would be guided. We should all, I don't care what no one says, we should all collectively be looking after our youngers. Do you know what I'm saying? But like I said, in the DMs, I'll direct them to wherever I believe they need to go to get advice. You know, I've not long ago had a 16-year-old that was with someone, and she got pregnant. She didn't know what to do. She didn't want to tell her mum, you know, and I'm talking to her like, I really think you need to talk to your mum, love. This is not the place. This is Instagram, or, you know, I can say to them, don't chat to such and such because they're over 18. This isn't appropriate. Whether they do it or not, it's out of my control. I mean, the one thing people need to understand is, yes, there's guidelines saying that you should be 18 to have Instagram, but the truth and the fact is, there's hella under 18-year-olds that have got this. And this is why I get mad with parents. You're not overlooking what your kids are doing. You're not even understanding what trouble or dangers your kids are getting into by being allowed to have this app that you think is so harmless. Hence why I'm here today. But like I said, what can I do? I'm not the type to turn my face on someone that's in need.
Okay, let's get on to Summer Leighton's very own J Gang. Obviously, a lot of us only know what we've seen up there in that Instagram live. We're going to get on to that. Not even, well, it's a live, innit? But it's been posted by someone. So, we've seen that. So, we don't know the ins and outs properly.
Right.
So, before I get into that, I'm going to ask you, what is going on with you and J Gang, and when and how did you meet him?
Okay, so I was on Muller Juice's live, and I think that is when everything started for me on Instagram.
Yeah.
In terms of being out there or whatever. So kudos to Muller Juice. But I was on Muller Juice's live, and that's where I got seen by J Gang, I think. Followed each other from there, listened to his music. Like I said, I'll support whatever. I found him funny. Didn't really go through his page too much. I don't really go through too much pages, if I'm honest. Like, I do sometimes, but with having 3 kids and blah blah blah, like I don't have time to go through every single Tom, Dick and Harry's Instagram. But I'll have a little snoop, and I found him a little bit funny to begin with. But met up with him once for the best part of like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch the zombie challenge that he does. He does this challenge where people got to drink 5 drinks or some shit. I just wanted to laugh. I was just a mum. My mum was going to have the kids. I wanted to laugh, so I thought, let me go down there. True say, I've been following this guy for time. I've bought his clothes. I listen to his music. I share it. Let me just go and see what this is about. So I went there, offered to put £100 down, you know, to whoever done the challenge to add to the pot. That's basically all there is to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then after that, he was gone. Like, the challenge didn't end up happening in that bar, Satay bar, whatever it's called. And then me and Jeff Jones and LDF Graphics and someone called Tefavelli decided to go to a club and just spend the rest of the night having a laugh, basically.
Yeah.
Club is not really my thing. I think they knew that, but you know, it was all right. It was a good night. Like, I just sat on the side, drank my drink, bought everyone drinks. I'm not really the twerker in the club scene, and that's not really me, but I'm quite happy to just have a good vibe. So yeah, spent about 40 minutes with J Gang, and then he went home. I think his girlfriend was threatened.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so from you saying his girlfriend was threatened goes on to my next question.
Right.
Did Sammee Timmars want to fuck J Gang?
No, and I'm glad you asked that question. Like I said before previously, I'll do a little bit of flirting. Like, if you put a picture up and I think it's a good picture, I'll put some, you know, the emoji with the love hearts in the eyes. I'll send you that. But guys, get a grip, man. I like a lot of pictures, but I also like a lot of pictures of stray dogs. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know how he took it. We've flirted back and forth, maybe, with, in that sense, emojis, pictures, whatever. That's all there is to it, really. That's all there is to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But what do you think the worst thing you could have done with flirting to make him so adamant that when he was speaking on the live, he was telling your man, listen, your missus wanted to fuck me?
Oh, I think there's nothing he had on me, if I'm honest. I think he was just trying to wind my boyfriend up, because people do this thing where when you spit the truth, they get personal instead of stick to the facts. Like, if I tell you this is red and I'm like, no, this is pink, eventually I'm going to say, well, do you know what? Fuck your mum, or, bleh. Do you know what I mean? Like, people get personal when the truth's being told to him a little bit. Like,
yeah.
So I believe he was just trying to wind my boyfriend up. I've shown my boyfriend our DMs.
Yeah.
Do you know what's mad? In the beginning, when I was doing the flirting and all of that shit, I took a couple screenshots still. Like, I'm known as the screenshot queen. So I took a couple screenshots because something in my belly was like, you know what, this man's going to use something against you in the future. Lo and behold, I was right, and I'm glad I did, because guess what, J Gang? You deleted the DMs. So bear in mind, we have the same DMs, just like you and I would have the same DMs. There's nothing you could show the public that I couldn't, right? So why don't you ask him why the messages have been deleted? Do you know what I mean? If I wanted you, J Gang, I would have told you I want you. I'm that kind of girl. I'm traditional, yeah, but if I fancy a guy and I want him, I'm telling him, listen, I like you. What is it? Like, that's just the type of person I am.
Okay, well, you've set us straight on that, but there's still something that people ain't understanding.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, even to do this interview today, me and you have been connecting through Instagram.
Yeah.
We haven't had numbers till we've sat here today.
Right.
So you said you bought a couple of his clothes, you thought that stuff was funny on his Instagram, you came down to link him to watch that challenge.
That was before,
But how did you get the number? Like, what made you to exchange numbers? Because all that stuff could have been done without numbers.
I really don't know the answer to that, if I'm honest. We did definitely exchange numbers. I gave him my address, obviously. Bank to put the money in for the clothes. I don't really know. I mean, I don't even know the answer to that, if I'm honest with you. It happens. Like, I exchanged my number with quite a few people. Like, it's nothing to me. If I feel like I'm getting pestered, I just change that shit. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really know how to answer that other than what I've just said, but we was in a group chat on Instagram with like 6, 7, 8 other people or whatever it is you can get on there. So I don't really think anything of it, to be honest. I think having someone's number ain't really that big of a deal to me. It might be to others, but it weren't really to me.
But can you see again, like with Trevor, like you've come to link J Gang. Like you say, on your side, you're not thinking nothing.
No.
But men think different.
Right.
So you ain't come there to do an interview. You ain't come there for nothing major. He's thinking, well, this girl's come to link me from wherever she is.
So then why would I link him and Trevor and Tef and LDF?
Well,
do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not stupid, right? I know that if I meet a man on his own, he's going to think a certain type of way unless I set it straight, like, yo, we're working. Do you get what I mean? Or whatever it is we're doing. That conversation never took place. It was a night that was arranged. He was doing the zombie challenge. And I was like, oh, do you know what? I might come through. That's literally how it was. Like, to tell you the truth, I don't really go out. Like I said, I don't do the clubbing thing too tough. So for me, it was just get out, go back home. Obviously, I'm from London. Came down and... like that's just how I saw it. If he saw it that way, why did he leave? If I wanted to fuck him, what, are you gay? Why didn't you fuck me, J Gang? If that's the case, do you know what I mean? Like,
would you say you're a simple thinker? Like you don't go in on your thinking?
No,
I'm a deep thinker.
Yeah, I am a deep thinker.
If someone tells me they're linking me or I'm supposed to link them, I'm thinking, what the fuck's going down? But you seem to get into the situation of going somewhere because you're not thinking the worst is going to happen.
No, and I never think that. And that's something that my family and friends have always said to me. I think I've been like that from young. I don't really know. Like, I always go with the best intentions. And it might be quite late on in my life, but I think it's only since I was about 27, 28 that I'm starting to learn things. I know it's quite late on, but that's just the truth of it. Like, I'll put myself in a situation without realising I'm even in any danger. Like, I've had friends tell me, like, Sammee, are you alright? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, no, he's alright, you know, he's just, you know, doing this, or she's just doing that, it's nothing. And then before you know it, like, I'm in tears because that person's done something that I never saw coming, or do you know what I mean? So it's just how I am. I just go with the flow, to tell you the truth.
Okay, let's get into the conversation. What did you actually ring him for? Because after all the fuckeries happened, we never got down to what you rang him for. Like, ring J Gang on that live. It started with you telling your boyfriend, I'm going to ring him. And then you rang him. What was that for?
Because my boyfriend wanted to have a conversation with him. And obviously the lives, you can only have 2 people. So I decided to ring him so that it could, you know, so that it could be heard, basically. So my boyfriend and me and him could have that freeway conversation. J Gang doesn't really do things private. J Gang don't like doing things private. He might make out like he does, but he don't. Everything with J Gang is, oh, you know, if other people want to address it, I've got to address it on live. That's because I've asked him the same question. Is this not something we could have dealt with off of Instagram? No, he wants to take it to Instagram, so we dealt with it on Instagram.
So what did your man want to speak to him about?
He wasn't happy with the way that J Gang addresses women. He wasn't happy with the way that he humiliates women. He's unhappy with quite a few things, but in regards to me being his woman, obviously he didn't like that. He's just like, why is my woman coming back in tears sometimes, or why am I seeing lives get sent to me? My boyfriend's not about Instagram. He don't have social media. He actually only made that account to address certain people, and J Gang was one of them. And basically, he just wanted to chat to him man to man. And she's like, "What are you on? Like, you're cussing her for her children. You're saying derogatory things about her and her children. Like, what is it that she's actually done in order for you to be pushed that far?" That's when he come out with, what, your girlfriend tried to fuck me. Whatever, man.
So let me ask you, your man, is he official on Church Road?
Yeah.
Yeah? So everyone knows his name?
100%.
Okay, well let me ask you something. He said to J Gang, you're not ready to pull up. Now, in my way of thinking, I don't care if J Gang's the baddest man in Summer Leighton. He's definitely official down there, I know this for a fact. But even if he was the baddest man in Summer Leighton, what would make anyone want to come all the way to Church Road and pull up just to get what your man, you and whoever's with him is going to give him? Right. I don't see the sense in all this pull-up talk.
Well, he did offer to come to Terrell's gym. He said, let's do a boxing thing, let's do this, let's do that. He just wanted to meet him, basically. He just wanted to confront him face to face. Do you know what I mean? I mean, if you've got a woman that's facing all of these stupid things that men are saying, I've got a bunch of men coming at me with, I'm a paedophile, my brother's a paedophile, I'm abusing vulnerable people. He's had to sit back and watch all of this, and I think what's happened is it just got filled up to the top where it just spilled out. Like, he's had enough. Do you know what I'm saying? He's like, I know my woman and I know what she's about, and I'm listening to things that are just don't represent my woman at all. And I think it's just got to the point where he wanted to say anything to get him to meet him. Do you get what I'm saying? He did come down to Terrell's gym at some point, from what I believe or what I've heard, and that got relayed back to Gang. I think Gang went to the gym and said, oh, you know, was there a man looking for me or some shit like that. Put it this way, my boyfriend will probably bump into him at some point.
So on the real, like you said, when your boyfriend does bump into him, your boyfriend's got some things he wants to tell him.
100%.
Do you see in your eyes J Gang just taking whatever your boyfriend's got to say to him?
I don't really know J Gang like that, but if you ask me, I think he's a pussy-hole. Because the way he speaks to women is disgusting. I would actually love to see J Gang give the same energy he gives women on these lives and on his page to a real G, like to a real man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that ain't gonna happen. He might be 30 in Summer Leighton, but you know what? You're 30 in Summer Leighton. No one even knows who the fuck Summer Leighton is, other than because of you. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not really fazed by his talk, to be honest with you. I see hella youngers around him. I don't see no real men around him saying, bro, like, you're dissing a woman on live, but you've got no real reason why you're doing this. Like, so many people have asked him, what is it? What is it? What is it? He keeps giving it, she's a beg or she's a clout chaser or whatever. But hold on a minute, didn't you pay $150 to World Boss to do a little publicity stunt or whatever you want to call it? Or, you know what's funny? They all do this, she's a clout chaser or he's a clout chaser. But do you know when Fredo goes live, I see a bag of rappers in there clout chasing, like, add me fam, come let me bust 2 bars or whatever. So I don't give a shit where he's 30. You're not 30 to me because you're not a real man, because you did not deal a woman in the correct way. If you're a real man, you would not ridicule these crackheads like say they're not human beings. You don't know what made them take crack in the first place to get them in that situation. Like, you're an arsehole, you're a dickhead. You do not help the community, you chat shit. Period. And the Church Road thing is because he said, I'll pull up to Church Road, I know people in Church Road. I think that's where that comment come from.
So after all's said and done, if you saw J Gang now at any time, what would you be like with him?
That's a good question. Depends what side of the bed I woke up out of, to be honest. If I'm feeling good, I'll just walk past and just probably mutter under my breath, he's a fucking dickhead. Or I might just confront him. Because I don't like the Instagram thing. I feel like a lot on the Instagram thing, people do the talking over thing to stop you from saying what you really want to say. Or it's different, innit? When people are in front of people, they've got an audience, someone's personality changes. But when it's just the two of you, you know, and I actually asked J Gang through someone called Jeff Jones. I actually asked J Gang, you know, what is your problem? Like, you've got my personal phone number. Why don't you ring me? And he said, I want to address it on live because this is what people are saying, and you're, you know, I thought he had an idea about my character, being that I paid to support him with his clothing, being that I went to New York and dashed all his clothing around there. That's really my way of supporting, do you know what I mean? So I thought he had a little idea about my character, truthfully, enough to call me and be like, what's this I'm hearing about you using Trevor for clout or whatever. He didn't do any of that. He just jumped on the bandwagon as everybody else, addressed me on, or so-called addressed me on the live. And to be honest, the verbal abuse just got to the point where I was like, you know what, fuck you, gang. Like, you watch my stories all the time. I've told you so many times, I don't like you no more. I'm not supporting your music no more. I'm not pushing your shit no more. Ask him to prove that I've ever watched his story after that. This guy's come into my lives on O to the My, Zaza Lunchbox, Gang Guidance, J Gang Music. And then from the last I've heard, it was Homeless Team. Like, bro, I offered this guy £100 for the homeless thing. If you're really about the people, you would have snapped that up fast, because if you really care about the homeless people, you would have snapped that shit up. He didn't take it. He took the O to the My money quicker than he would have took the homeless thing, because he didn't even take it in the end. So, but he used that account to jump in my live and talk shit. And I said to him, I've got 2 questions for you, gang. Do you follow me? And he took a couple of seconds, he went, no. And then I said, okay, so did you type my name in the search box to find me? And he just stayed quiet for like a good couple of minutes. And I was just like, you know what, there you go. Like, you're just trying to get on at me, you're trying to get me to react. You're obviously after whatever audience you think I pull in, because it's new to me, I'll be honest with you. Like, it took me a long time to realise that I even have some kind of presence online. So I'm guessing that's what it is. What else is it going to be? I ain't hurt the man. Do you know what I mean? I might have said a few things, but you said a whole heap of shit before you got that out of me. Do you know what I mean? It takes a lot for me to snap. You've got to get personal. I'm talking shit about my kids. My eldest daughter's 12 years old. I could stop her from having access to YouTube at home, but you know what, bro? I can't stop her from having access outside of the house.
Exactly.
So if she comes home to me and she says, Mum, what's this about? Like, you know, you care about the community. What? Like, no, you don't. Fuck off, man.
Okay, we're going to leave J Gang there for a minute, but anytime you want to bring him back, we'll do that with pleasure.
Right.
Let's just give you one little thing to keep you up to speed, though. With regards Summer Leighton. Summer Leighton's big.
Right.
Obviously, you say you know
I don't
through
know
him.
nothing. Yeah.
But there's been a lot of people that's made that name ring bells for years before there was a J Gang. And they'll most probably do it years after there's one.
Right.
Just so you know.
That goes to show how much I know about South London, though, really.
But yeah, we're going to get onto your boyfriend for a minute. Obviously, I don't want to go too deep in, because like you say, he's not an Instagram man. He don't want all that. But there was something he said up there. Like, he said to J Gang, you're done out here. He said, you're pushing a Volvo. Like, obviously that got cleaned up. J Gang said he ain't. Whatever. That don't even matter to me. What I'm saying, is people that are official, they seem to have this thing where they want to gas up people to have bigger things than they can afford. As long as you're not on the bus. What does it matter what car somebody's driving out here? People want you to go jail. They want you to do shit because you have to get the biggest things.
Car,
And that's why these young youths are fucked. Because they'll see a man who they know's about it. And he's telling them, if you've got a Volvo, you're dead.
I have to agree with you. I think that was a careless comment. But going back to what I said before, I think he was just trying to get at Gang in any way that he could to get him to meet him. I think he was just, like I said, so fuming with hearing this shit with Gang calling me out all the time has gone on since August 2019. I want to know what the fuck I've done in order for you to be chatting my name that long. Do you know what I mean? Considering you've never shared a post of mine, you've never supported me in any way, and I've put money in your pocket to feed your child. So as far as I'm concerned, I think he was just trying to do anything to just pick at him, and he might have even known he don't push a Volvo. I don't know, but I had this conversation with my partner, and I said to him, you know, you fucked up by saying that, right? Because when I watched it back, I thought, you know what, that actually comes across quite childish. But I think when you're in the moment of something, sometimes you say shit. Do you know what I mean? You say shit out of just whatever it is you're feeling. So I think he was just trying to piss him off.
Yeah. So to anyone out there pushing a Volvo, you're nice. Alright, let's get a few more things in. Obviously, I'm looking at comments up there. People are saying that your man works for the prison services.
No.
Let's straighten that out.
No,
where would they even get that idea? What's going on with that?
No idea, but he definitely don't work for the prison services. He's locked up in a cell right now.
Yeah. Okay, let's get on to that now. We're talking about your man. Word is that he's been shot. What do you want to tell us on that? I'm going to leave that with you. What would you want us to know regards that?
Where do I start? Okay, so back in August 2019, just before I deleted Instagram for about 2 months or so, there's someone called Ashley Ryan Bones. I see him being nasty and derogatory to a 15-year-old, and the word is he's gay and he's from South London. His name's Jacob, but his Instagram name's like Savage or something like that. And I was due to interview this boy, right? Whether I do or don't agree with someone's sexuality is none of my business. However, no matter what their sexuality is, I do not and will never ever condone somebody being nasty to especially an under 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Again, being a youth worker, I can't let that run. So I was in the comments watching his live, and I seen Ashley Ryan Bones going in on this guy. J Gang's done it, a bag of people have done it, and my thing is, if you care about the community and you're trying to change the community, whether it's from gay to straight, straight to gay, guns to being nice, whatever, you cannot spread that kind of knowledge or expect to change without being the change yourself. I come from a background where I used to beat up gay people. I come from a background where I'm taught that shit is wrong, it's disgusting, be nasty to them if you see them, you know. So I do understand it, but I've got to a stage in my life where I've understood that's not the way to change the community if that's what you want to do. So Ashley claims that he's an activist. Basically, he was going in on him on live in disgusting ways. I decided to DM him and say, do you know what, bro, to say that you're a big man, big 30 odd whatever, you're going about this the wrong way, mate. I don't like the way he's grown up in care. This kid's grown up in care. I don't like the way that you're talking to this guy, addressing this guy, fix up, like, you say you're an activist, you need to show love. Like, if you're gonna help him understand anything, you need to be friends with him first, or be kind to him first, and then exchange information so that the boy can process it. Don't come at him with your batty, you're this, you're that. You're gonna, obviously this is why the boy was reacting online. So if he had a social worker in that live, he could have got locked up for that, because he would have been deemed as reacting a certain way or whatever. Do you know what I mean? He could have got locked up section for that shit. So then ever since that day when I DM'd him, he was nasty as hell. He was just like, you're a bad mum, you put your kids in a cold bath, you feed them crunchy pasta, or you just all this kind of chat that's like from a child, like school playground talk. This guy went on. I deleted my Instagram for about 2 months. I just wanted a break. Nothing to do with that. I just wanted a break. I had some shit going on in my life. So I come back and I decided to make a new account with my graphics, because in that time I decided to teach myself how to do graphics. I've come back and J Gang's found me, Ashley's found me, all these people found me, and then I thought, fuck it, like, let me just switch my main account back on, might as well just promote my own graphics account or whatever. So I did that. Believe it or not, since August 2019 to this very day, I'm still getting verbal from these people. Do you get what I mean? To the point where, I don't know, I just don't understand it, to tell you the truth. But in regards to my leading up to my boyfriend being shot, I had asked Carpo to, rewind. So I started to produce a show, and I paid for certain guests. Certain guests wanted to support and whatever else, right? I haven't filmed it yet. I've put stuff together, whatever. And then I think these people came on at me like, you ain't gonna do the show, you ain't gonna do this, you ain't gonna do that. And I can't lie, like, it did put me down quite a bit, considering I was going through a bit of a bad time on top of that. So that took a back burner for a bit. And then with all that abuse, obviously my boyfriend's watching this, like, on the side. So it's just like, he ain't happy about it, but he knows how the social media goes. He's just like, whatever, babe, like, as long as this don't get brought home where you're crying your eyes out and shit like that. But eventually it did get to that stage. So I suffer mental health myself. Do you get what I mean? Like, I suffer PTSD. It depends, it's up, down. So they triggered me a few times with a few things that they said, and then Boss Bully comes onto the scene and he's like, oh, you know, you're taking advantage of Trevor, blah blah blah. I thought I'd jump in the live once or twice just to address it, and then it was like, it was pointless. Like, it was like, no matter what I was saying, I was just getting faced with verbal, with stuff that had nothing to do with me and Trevor. It was all my kids. But bear in mind, like, after these people who've got kids, I'd love for them to post their screen time, because I'm actually not on Instagram that much. I don't post every day. Do you get what I mean? So I couldn't understand it. But then it got to a point where I see Boss Bully on a live with a camera around his neck like this. And he's got, you know when you got the lives and you got someone on top. Ramps was on the top, and Ramps is going, which I will send proof of. Ramps is like, you know what, I'm gonna get Sammy's kids removed from her, from social services, because I've got social services around me. And this is how he said it. He went, I've got social services around me, and all that bitchiness, thinking he's got a weave in his head and shit. And Boss Bully was at the bottom with a camera around his neck, and he's got a camera in front of him, so he's obviously got all this technology, and he's like, let me show you why I'm on Sammy's live. This is why I'm on Sammy's live. This is why I've recorded her. So I'm thinking, like, why are you recording me? What is it that I'm doing that you lot are doing that I will get caught for that you lot won't? Because really it was me saying to these lot, what you're doing is fuckery to the people. So why are you filming me? I don't even put my kids on Instagram. I don't post them. I don't, do you know what I'm saying? And if I ever have, it'll be the back of them so you can't see their faces. I know how nasty these people are. With Ramps, it started from jump into my live, and I watched his show a couple times, his Instagram dead show, and he weren't getting no views. It were like 10 people, and he's like, come on, jump live. And I said, you know what, I'd rather watch for a bit. So I watched for a bit, observed it, and I thought, you know what, this ain't bringing people together. This is what he claimed his show to be, bringing people together. All I could see is anybody that had an argument on Instagram, he wanted to bring them together on this show and basically watch A argue with B and B argue with A. So I decided not to go live with this guy. Next thing, I'm getting messages from him. You've misunderstood me. I just want to understand you. Please give me your number. I want to understand you better. Long story short, all in all, he's asked my number for about 10 times, right? And I kept saying to him, no. So I believe there's an agenda behind it to wind people up, because when I said no, and when I wasn't giving Boss Bully the attention that they wanted, it went from jump into my lives to she's a paedophile, or she don't look after her kids, or she's allowed her brother to molest her children willingly. Like, where the fuck do you get all of this shit? Do you know what I mean? Like, my brother's with my kids now. If he was a paedophile, I can assure you I would not allow my brother to have them in his care. Do you know? And he's never done anything like that. So I might not talk to my brother for dumb shit, like you fall out with your brothers and sisters, but never something like that. So when it got into that, this is where my boyfriend got involved. Yeah. He was like, nah, I'm not having that. Like, they're just saying too much. I can't lie, a lot of these comments made me upset. Yeah. Like I said, my mental health with PTSD got triggered with a lot of these comments. So I started to get really depressed. But I refused to go live with these people because I thought nothing good is going to come from this shit. So my boyfriend jumps on and he's like, Boss Bully, I know you. We're from the same ends. I know like who you are. Dropped a couple facts to prove to him that he knew who he was, because Boss Bully obviously at the time couldn't quite figure out who it was. But then when he did figure it out, and I can't say too much because of the case that's going on, but when he did figure it out, he dropped a subliminal to let me and my boyfriend know that he knew who my boyfriend was.
Yeah. Next
thing, Boss Bully gets arrested, right? And with him knowing who my boyfriend was, he would have known that my boyfriend, as a side hustle, does buying and selling cars, right?
Yeah.
My boyfriend's not broke. He's very actually comfortable, but he doesn't like sitting there being bone idle. So he buys and sells cars. He gets a message from a friend, right? And it says, you know, there's this car for sale up in Yorkshire. So my boyfriend gets on the phone to me. He's like, do you know what, babe? There's this other car for sale and it's in Yorkshire. So when I'm in Yorkshire, I'm going to come and check you. So I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't think nothing of it. He went up to Yorkshire, bought the car, and happened to forget the logbook. Got to the end of the road with the car and phoned the person who sold it. And the person who sold him the car weren't picking up the phone for shit. Like, left the voicemails, went back to the house, knocked on the door, no answer. So he didn't think anything of it. He must have just thought, you know what, let me just come back the next day then. Like, maybe, I don't know. Like, he just thought, let me come back the next day.
Yeah.
In that time, he's called me and he said, babe, I'm going to come and see you, but a madness has just happened and I can't really say too much. I'm like, okay, cool. So I didn't think anything of it. That night, he never came.
No.
So that must have been when he got shot.
Yeah.
Right? I can't say too much again because of the case that's happening, but it was definitely police that shot at that car.
Yeah.
We could probably get proof of that actually, because my boyfriend was shot with bullets that were about that big.
Yeah.
That's no joke. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so he got shot 3 times. The car went into a ditch. He's ended up in hospital. Everybody that was in that car ended up in different hospitals. Why? Why? Like, if you're just nabbing people for whatever reason, wouldn't you just put them all in the same hospital? So they stayed in their hospitals. They all had police officers by their bedside the entire time. His own mum could not see him. Do you know what I mean? Can you imagine, like, you're about to die or you're close to death and you can't even see your mum? Like, or it's not really him, it's the mum. Do you know what I mean? She wanted to see her son.
Yeah.
So with that being said, he was in a coma for a couple of days, up to about a week. Comes out. Sorry, let me rewind. 24 hours after he gets shot, I get a message from Ramps saying you took a L. And at this point, we'd blocked each other. I can't remember whether I blocked him or he blocked me. No, he blocked me, sorry. Because he then unblocked me and then sent me a message 24 hours. So when I knew he got shot, I kept it normal as far as Instagram. Because I thought to myself, if this is something to do with feds, I'm being watched. This ain't normal. Like... So I thought, let me keep it normal. Let me keep going live or chat to people, whatever. And then whoever's involved in this is bound to crack up. And lo and behold, that happened. So 24 hours after he got shot, I get this message from Ramps, and he says, "You took it L." And then it's got a little screenshot on it from a troll account saying, "I've got information for you. Sammy's boyfriend's just been shot in Leeds, and he's close to death, but he's stable." Right? And then after that, it says underneath, what has he said now? "I've been holding this back for weeks." So wait a minute. If he got shot 24 hours ago and you're telling me that you've known that for weeks, what does that make you then? You must be an informer. I don't care what no one says. Like, I'm so in tune with my vibes. I read between the lines. it all fitted in. It all fitted in. Like, bothering me online, trying to get a reaction out of me. I believe they were trying to get a reaction out of me so that they could send my kids to the local authorities because I'm under the mental health. So if I was to react online looking crazy, that means they've got footage that could get taken into local authorities. Bear in mind, I told you I spread knowledge about certain things to do with paedophilia and all the rest of it. So I'm seeing this agenda emerge and I'm like, okay, so this is all fitting then. This makes sense. Like, they must have tried to come for me because they knew by sending him to Yorkshire, he would have passed by my house. So what, would I have been shot with the food or with the car or whatever? Like, the stuff was set up. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
The food that was in the car was not my boyfriend's. Do you understand? My boyfriend is not stupid enough to be travelling halfway up the country when he's not even a criminal. Like I told you, he's got peas. He's comfortable. He's a man of service. He's not a prisoner. He's not a screw, whatever you call it. He's not a policeman. Do you get what I'm saying? So why would he be this so-called criminal and take that all the way up 200 miles up the country? Like, that's daft.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you're really about this life, you'll know that's stupid. So ended up saving these screenshots as soon as they were coming to me. The first thing I said to Ramps was, you're a fed. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. And I believe if he'd have come by to me, either I would have been shot or I would have been arrested because I was sat in the car with whatever else it had in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then that would have deemed me to be an unfit parent to be around my children.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe has happened. And he's come out of the coma. I think it's been about a week or two, week and a half, if something like that, that he's like on the mend. And next thing, a couple of days ago, he gets arrested. And apparently he's looking at 10 years. For some shit he never did.
Yeah.
All he did was go to buy a car. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're going to buy a car, you're not going for no other reason. And yes, if it was in Yorkshire, of course he's going to go check his girlfriend. Who wouldn't?
Yeah. Okay, so for anyone who's listened to that and haven't gathered it properly, what are you telling us with a short of it that you believe that Ramps set that up so that your boyfriend would get dealt with?
I believe Boss Bully set it up, and I believe that Ramps was involved or helped.
Yeah.
Part of it. Gotta be part of it. Like, this is why Boss Bully's so-called been arrested.
Yeah.
It makes sense for him to come off the scene.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. Do you know what I mean? It makes sense for Boss Bully to come off the scene, because if he was still on the scene, maybe certain people would have got dealt with. It's hard to answer that. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously there's a case going on, but it just makes sense for Boss Bully to be off the scene and for Ramps to go live, because I've heard that he's gone live and he's been like, oh look, you know, Boss Bully's door's been kicked in. If you're his fucking friend, why don't you shut the fucking door and find out where he is? He might need some money if he's locked up. Do you know what I mean? Like a normal person would do. Like, you alright, bro? Do you need any peas in there? He's not done any of that. He's gone on live. Like, why is Instagram the first thing on your mind?
But on the other side of that, why would the Instagram little madnesses between you and them two get them to a stage where they really want to hurt you and your boyfriend that bad? What would really make them want to do that through this Instagram?
I say a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I say a lot of shit. Like, God protect me always. I speak up on paedophilia.
Yeah.
I speak up on corruption. If I think anybody's in danger, I'll speak up on it.
Yeah.
You know, my eyes are open, so I see symbols of paedophilia and I spot them, and it's like I see agendas in front of me, and the only way that I can express it is through the social media. I have no other way. Like, me reaching to just my loved ones is not good enough for me. Do you understand? Like, that's not helping people in my eyes. I know a lot of people around me, no offense, say to me, you know, if you reach one person, that's good enough. No, it's not. No, it's not. This shit is going on a massive scale. Do you understand? Yeah. Not everybody that goes to foster care is safe. Not everybody that ends up in social services or mental institutions or jails or secure units. Don't stop believing this is all 100% certain, because it's not. Yeah. There's paedophilia in every single one of these fucking organisations. Do you know what I mean? And it just so happens that during this lockdown, you got to agree with me, there's hella madness going on. Like, it's got people moving mad. So I'm just seeing a pattern of people going for vulnerable people, whether that's women that are single with children, whether that's women that have got children but their man's locked up, or whether that's people with mental health. You know, there's some like Kidavelli, Drew, Trevor. These are people that I have or don't or have supported in the past, whatever. Like, I'm seeing a pattern here, you know. Like I said to you, hands up, I am under the mental health. Do you know what I mean? I am under the Mental Health Act. So if you know that, because I've made it clear to these people, right? I've said to these people, you know, I've told you I've got PTSD. There's certain things you guys are doing that's upsetting me, and you're really pissing me off, and you're setting me off. So can you stop it, please? I've said that time and time and time again. So why keep on at me? Boss Bully claims to have all this knowledge, and this is another thing I'm seeing. Like, it's an act of, oh, be vegan, and oh, let's buy these crystals and angel wings and fairy dust. But really and truly, behind that is dark energies that are serving dark entities. And I believe, whether it's me or my boyfriend, I don't know. I mean, I'm the one with the social media out of the two of us. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So maybe it's to shut me up. Maybe it's because I say things people don't want to hear. I speak to egos. I don't deal with the face thing. Like, I'm not interested in what you look like, whatever. Like,
yeah, but what I'm saying, they all talk on that Insta. They all say things other people don't like. What would
I'm guilty of that. Yeah.
What would that Boss Bully and Rants think that you know that would make them so scared that they want to put you and your boyfriend out the game?
That they're snitches.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I've heard rumours flying around that he don't speak to a cousin for 9 years, and I'd like to know what that's about. I mean, don't get me wrong, we all have disagreements with our families, but it's wondered in my head, is it because you're a snitch?
Yeah.
And maybe she don't agree with it? Or what is it? Like, and then in relation to Carpo, I found out Boss Bully's related to A-Star.
Yeah.
Who don't get on too well with Carpo.
Yeah.
Carpo don't get on too well with Trems. Wow, I could go deep.
Yeah.
Trems, I don't know if it's out there, but I know Carpo's done tracks, big up Carpo all day long, but Trems is a victim of abuse. He's admitted that himself.
Yeah.
Why not speak up on it, bro? Why not speak up on it? These rappers, right, and these personalities are claiming they give a shit about our community. Do they fuck? Why? Like, no, you don't. You rapping about guns and trapping, and I'm bored of it. I'm bored of it. I want to fucking hear some shit that is going to make our kids be strong individuals in society. So when they do spot the paedophilia, they know to run the other way. Do you get what I mean? Or when they do spot snitches, and, you know, don't encourage these kids to be drug dealing. That's not the way forward. Or don't encourage them to be fighting with one another. Like, if you've got a platform, I believe you've got a huge responsibility. Like I said, we can't stop these kids coming on the gram. There's nothing we can do about it. If Instagram wanted these kids off the gram, they would do it.
Yeah.
I put a post up once of a bit of, not my own or anybody else's, I got it off Google, right? I put a picture of like a bit of cum on a table, and I labelled it, "Stop being racist, we was all white once," right? I put that post up. That post got taken down within seconds. Who's watching my account to put that down in seconds? But then you've got idiots like Barbie, and then you've got Swarms, for example, who's got girls twerking with practically next to nothing on. Why aren't they getting taken down? That's actual arse on the live.
Yeah.
Skinning out pussy. Like, do you know what I mean? So why are they not getting taken down? So I believe I'm definitely being watched.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Boss Bully's intention is, whether because of me speaking up or whether it's because my boyfriend hit an ego with, I know you are, don't talk shit about my woman.
Yeah.
It could be either of the two, I really don't know. All I know is these bitches made themselves obvious that they're rats.
Okay, well that's something for people to wonder on that and see what the outcome is.
100%.
Yeah. Let's get on to some of the littler things now after that big one there.
Yeah.
Regards you and Ramps. Like obviously you've had your Insta live that's gone up there and been posted. In that Insta live, he started off by telling you got herpes.
Yeah.
He said that you're known for STDs.
Right.
Like obviously you was telling him that you ain't.
Yeah.
But what we want to know is, are you 100% not ever had nothing?
100% not ever had anything.
Because really, words wouldn't tell no one, would it?
It wouldn't. And do you know what happened? I booked an appointment, right, to have a test at the doctor's.
Mm.
If you know your shit, you'll know there is no test for herpes out there. You have to have symptoms in order to be tested on, just like most things that are skin conditions or whatever. You have to have something flare up in order for the swab to be taken, for them to do a test. You can't just go in there and say, oh, you know what, take my blood and can you tell me if I got this or this? Do you know what I mean? So I did go to the doctors on the 18th, and that was around about the time that all this lockdown shit was happening. And so the doctors was telling me that certain things I couldn't do because they weren't important or whatever. And you know what? Everything happens for a reason, because I did manage to get a paper up of a previous STI test that I'd done. Whenever I've had a partner, I've always gone to go and get myself tested. Do you know what I'm saying? So I dragged up the paper from before that said, you know, she don't have this. And I was going to post it on my story, but then I thought to myself, do you know what? If I do that, they've just got what they've wanted. They've triggered me again. Like, they keep talking about all this shit that's not true. Even Ramps is the one who started the crunchy pasta shit.
Yeah, I was going to get on to
I have never put a picture up of any pasta.
Yeah.
Like that. Like on my kids' lives, may they drop dead, I have never put a picture up of crunchy pasta. If I have put up any picture of food, it's been stuff that's teaching others what's the best thing to store in your cupboard right now with what's going on. That would be lentils, beans, do you know, certain things like that. But pasta, like...
But it's not even the pasta itself, it's what he's saying. He's adamant that you're feeding the kids dry pasta.
Okay,
and
so...
that your kids are in a cold
come
bath.
for dinner. Come for dinner. I don't know, you know what I mean? Come for dinner, Ramps. If you're so... this is the other thing. If these people are so concerned about what my children are eating and if they're in danger and if I've got herpes or HIV or all the other shit that I keep hearing, why don't you report me to social services? You said you were going to. I've got a video of it. You said, I'm going to report you to social services out of spite. That's what he said. So my thing is, you're all saying these things about my kids, okay? But as a good citizen, why don't you work for social services furthermore if you've got so much concern? Because you see me, if I had a real concern, real concern, I would take that up in my private life. Do you know what I'm saying? Just like I've had a concern for the youngers, I went and did the youth work, or started the youth club, or done this, or done talks in schools, and do you know what I mean? Like you said, these people just chat on Instagram. But mate, you don't even fucking see your 7-year-old daughter. You ain't even sending her pasta. So how dare you try and tell me I'm giving him crunchy pasta?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Like, what's my kids got to do with all of this?
Yeah.
So this is where I'm going back to trying to get me to react. And this is why I never provided the paperwork for the STI. Like, excuse my language, why are you worried about what's up in my pussy? Like, you ain't fucking me. Are we fucking? Like, this is why I keep saying to these people, like, gang, are we fucking? Because you was one of them spreading that rumour. Ramps, are we fucking? Like, my boyfriend ain't complaining. Do you know what I mean? I don't know anyone that would stay with someone knowing they had that.
But this is why I tell people, be wary of this Instagram.
Yeah.
Because you will get drawn out. People will chat shit that is just out of this world.
I know.
But just so you know, it's dead and done now.
Yeah.
There's no way neither that shit's true. No pasta, no cold bath.
No.
Okay then, let's get on to that other thing he was trying to show us up there. He was trying to say within his talk that when you and him have talked off of Instagram Live...
Who's him?
This Ramps.
Oh, okay,
with regards
right.
to FaceTime.
Right.
Your attitude to him wasn't the same as what you're giving him on the Instagram Live for that audience. He was playing it like as if
We've had a FaceTime.
are nice with him when you was talking. You was telling him you like his music, you're feeling him, all the other stuff. But then when you're on the Instagram Live, you're going on like you're onto it.
Yeah, I'm onto it.
So what's the truth for that? Was there
Well,
any conversations or anything that none of us have seen
No.
where you was nice with Ramps?
I mean, obviously the viewers haven't seen all of the conversations.
Yeah.
I have done lives where I've showed our conversation from top to bottom.
Yeah.
He's deleted a few, but guess what? I'm screenshot queen. So I recorded all of it. Like, you know when if someone pisses me off and then comes back and says on a calm one, they want to chat to me or something like that, I'll give him time of day. I'll give him the opportunity. If they're coming with like some realness or truth or facts, but that wasn't what I got. Me and Ramps have never, ever, ever FaceTimed. We've never video called. He's tried to, don't get me wrong. To have FaceTime, you have to have my number.
Yeah.
I denied your number about 10 times. I can prove it. And I hope that when you put this video up, you can display the conversations. I did at one point say, all right, I'll think about it. You've pissed me off. You said all of these things about my kids. Why should I give you time of day to even call you or give you my number to speak? Like, you've shown me that you're not a nice person. Why the fuck should I spend any minute longer with you? And so I said to him, I'll have a shower and I'll have a think about it. Had a shower, came back, didn't want to chat to him. I still felt the same. So no, we haven't FaceTime. We haven't video called each other. Ramps, why have you deleted all the DMs? Same situation as Gang, why delete all the DMs?
Yeah.
If you've got nothing to hide, why would you go back to that conversation and select the things you want to delete?
Yeah.
You're dumb. You're dumb because like everyone keeps telling these people, Sammee don't say nothing unless she can back it up. Do you know what I mean? If I got the vibe of anything, that is not good, first thing I do, screenshot video. You guys, I'm telling you now, I will screenshot your shit. Don't chat to me unless you're ready to get stuck out there. And that's the truth of it.
Okay, well, we're going to finish on Ramps with one last question so everybody's got it clear. So behind the scenes or on the scenes, in no way was there anything from Sammee to make Ramps think that he could get a piece of her?
No. I forgot to address the comment about his music. I did say to him at one point, I don't understand why you're doing all this. Like I said, you're actually decent at rapping, in my opinion. Your music's fire. You don't need to do this. Like you don't need to do the passa shit. Just push your music, bro. What's wrong with you? Like that's the only thing I would say that I've said to him. I've never said.
Where did you say that? What was you on saying that to him?
Instagram.
Yeah.
I've always said to people, if that's what I believe they're doing, don't do it. Like it's not worth it. It's only gonna last so long. Do you know what I mean? Like it's dead. It's dead. Especially if you actually like. I'll always give credit where it's due. I've listened to one of his tracks. I ain't really deep the lyrics, but the guy's got flow. The guy's got rhythm. Whatever. So like I said, I told him, like, I don't understand why you're doing this. In fact, if anything, who was giving advances, it was him.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, don't go on like I ain't just, in the middle of us arguing, this guy's saying to me, don't go off like I ain't just liked all your pictures. And I'm just like, what? Like, you're a creep. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, people like my pictures.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. But when we're arguing and then you want to, not just like one or two, the guy went through at least 20 photos.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the argument, man's like, don't go off like I ain't like your pictures. So what? What do you expect him to do? Like, I don't know. He's a creep.
Okay,
and a snitch.
Let's leave him there for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's get on to the well-known Mr. Kidavelli.
Okay.
The one who everyone hates, but everyone seems to watch continuously. So I'm going to ask you, you was up there and you were saying that obviously Kidavelli got at you for some clothes.
It was designs.
Design, sorry, my bad, yeah. So with regards to that, what has your connection with Kidavelli been? And what did he get on your designs?
So he came and approached me on the designs account, which from what I hear from his mouth, apparently I got at him. That's not the truth. Kidda, don't do it, because I've got the screenshots and the videos. I don't want no problems with Kidavelli, I can't lie, yeah. However, he came at me for the designs. I was happy. I'm always happy when I get customers. Like, it's extra money in my pocket. I can't complain, do you know what I mean? It was for a cover for an album or an EP or something.
Yeah. I
did it, he was happy with it. And that's my first encounter with Kidavelli. I've never had any encounters with Kidavelli before that.
Yeah.
The funny thing is though, when he approached me on my designs account, I said to him, add me up on my main account. Went to my main account and I've typed in his name and I couldn't find him.
Yeah.
So I went to my block list and it turns out he was in my block list. So I went back to Kidda and I said, you know what? You're blocked. Like, I wonder have we come across one another? Because I don't remember you. I don't know anything about you. Yeah, I listen to a bit of music here and there, but I'm old school. I'm into my R&B, funky house and all of that. So I don't really do this new age shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't really understand why you're blocked, Kidda, but I'm really sorry. I'll unblock you now. Maybe, like I said, I don't know. He might have said something in a comment, or I might have heard something that I thought I don't want to be a part of. I just really don't know. I just know that he was blocked. I unblocked him, and the rest is history, really.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that with him. Okay, well let's get on to now Mrs. Bad Breed Angela. Obviously this is the girl you had a conversation with on Insta about Kidavelli.
Yeah.
Like obviously you told her you only know him for your designs.
Yeah.
But this girl was 100% that she's the one who he took to the cinema. She was under 15. He picked her up from probation and he took her. Now she's telling you this on the Insta.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm asking you, is she 100? Do you know she's 100 and what she's saying is facts?
I don't know her. I don't know her personally. And the first time I came across her was on that live.
Yeah.
I actually did not even know anything about this until she jumped on that live. Like, I'd heard things about this Bad Breed. It's difficult because from what I'm gathering, a lot of other people know about this Bad Breed and Kidavelli, and a lot of people don't like him or whatever. If anything, I think that's what drew me to him after the designs, in terms of like supporting him or being in his lives in the first place, because I've been trolled to fuck. So it's like when I seen him getting trolled, I thought, you know what, I am not one of these people that goes by hearsay and stuff. Like, I'm one of them people, I don't like to say judge, but I've done things in my past, nothing nowhere near paedophilia, but I've done things in my past that I regret. So I know what it's like to do things you regret and then want to move on and turn over a new leaf. So I just thought, whatever bad things is being said, I don't want to judge him like that. I'm getting to know him through me and him. Do you get what I mean? So when she came into the live, it diverted the whole live, because that live originally was about me and Ramps.
Yeah.
And this is what Ramps did. He diverted it to Kidavelli and is still doing that to this day. So he won't address the fact that he knew Bad Breed before Kidavelli. That's what I've heard. So I don't know Bad Breed personally, and to be honest, I don't know how I feel about her, because I know there's a lot of clout chasers out there. Apparently on that live she said that she was 18 on that day. I'm not talking about the day that they apparently went to cinema. I'm talking about on the live. So that must have happened 3 years ago, if it happened. But where I don't have any text messages, any proof, I'm not willing to comment on that shit.
Okay, so one last thing on her, because you've set that straight.
Yeah.
Did you have any connection off of that Instagram live? Did you talk privately in any way with her about any of it?
With Bad Breed?
Yeah.
I have recently, actually.
Yeah.
I did say to her, something's not right about your story.
Yeah.
If you was 15 and you know that's wrong, what was you doing meeting him in the first place? Where was your mum? She says that she was in a house with a 23-year-old. What was that 23-year-old doing then?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know if I was 23 back in the day and I had my little cousins around me or whatever, it's like, I don't know about everybody else, but in my family, it's like you automatically know the eldest one in the room is responsible for the youngest. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that story's all a bit blurry for me. Do you know what I mean? And because it's such a big accusation to make, I just said to her, something's fishy about your story. I don't get it. She got personal, like, fuck you, this, that. I just said, listen, bitch, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Like, if you cared so much about what happened to you, why don't you take that shit to the police?
Yeah.
This is another thing I'm tired of. Why take it to Instagram? You're worried about the children. You're worried about paedophilia. You're worried about this, worried about that. Why don't you go to these authorities then?
Yeah.
If you're so worried about these people.
Yeah. Okay, that's dead on that for now. This is going to be the bit where we get on to you now. These are the questions about you yourself that people want to know.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, what is your character? Like, what do you want us to see when we're looking at you and listening to you? How do you want to come across?
I would like to come across as somebody that is the bad minds people's problem, right? As well as an advocate for truth, all truth, and nothing but the truth. That's the reason I started this journey in the first place, and that's exactly what I'm going to lead with. But I will say this, obviously I do have a personality beside what my objection or objective, whatever you want to call it, is. And I am known for being a bit of a joker. I'm known for saying what's right off the bat off my head. Sometimes I don't always articulate myself properly. It might come out wrong, or I don't know, but the bottom line is I've got good intentions for people around me. I just want to see everyone around me happy. I want to see kids safe. I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm tired of seeing fake people. I'm tired of not enough people caring about our youngers out here either. Like, a lot of people's attitude is, I don't care because it ain't happened to me. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not that person. I've never ever been that person.
Yeah.
So sometimes it goes through my mind where I think I'm going to end up real hurt one day for the things that I say. But do you know what? So be it. Like, if that's what it's going to be, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So if you're watching me, sometimes I can drop a few F-bombs, and admittedly, you piss me off. Yeah, I do bite back. I'm a Sagittarius. I bite back. Like, I'm a fiery character, but there's a good heart in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's in the right place. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Okay, let's get on to the fact of whatever you are, whatever I am, whatever anyone is, people make up their assumptions. They don't know what you're on 24/7.
Yeah.
They just know your Insta lives.
Yeah.
So what it is as bad as it is, you've been up there. You've had connection with Trevor. You've had connection with J Gang. You've had connection with Ramps. You've had connection with Kidavelli in some way. Straight away, people are making comments.
Yeah.
They're seeing you as Mrs. Sket.
Oh, okay.
They're seeing you as a smelly Jezzy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you once and for all.
Yeah.
Is Sammee in any way a Sket or a smelly Jezzy in
No.
real life, day to day?
No. I think people are threatened by me and my energy, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I think that I tell a lot of people things they don't want to hear or don't like to hear. I don't sugarcoat anything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty straightforward. And it's funny because if you go through my page, you'll actually see is a bag of information that's actually healing to people, like whether that be for their digestive system, their brains, or to help their children or the community or whatever. Like, I'm all about my woke shit, I'm all about knowledge, I'm all about pushing learning and for people to self-educate rather than sit in front of BBC News all day. The people that I've run into, I believe when you're such a positive person, you're not going to be surrounded by positivity all the time. You're going to face some dark energies that are going to try and throw you off track of what you're doing. Now, that's down to the individual to understand if they're spiritual or not, or if they go by God or not. Do you get what I mean? So what I will say is, I believe I'm being faced with some challenges because I'm climbing my way up positively and people don't like it. I think they're threatened that I can pull or draw an audience in a positive way, because I understand a lot of people have seen my lives as being me barking back at people. I hold my hands up to that, but there's also a lot of lives that I've done where I've had a lot of positive feedback about how to tackle certain infections, viruses, the stuff that we're going through with the coronavirus right now. Like I said to you, I've got youngers approaching me in situations they can't speak to other people about. So people don't really see all of that. Like, people are very quick to pick up on the negative shit. But if you actually spend time with me or take the time to go through my posts, you'll actually see what my agenda really is. And pass is definitely not it. It's just that I react, like, I'm working on it. Do you know what I mean? I'm working on it. Like, you come up to me in the street and say, you're a fucking faggot, I'll probably deck you in the face. Do you know what I mean? But I don't mean to. It's just a reflex action type of thing. But I'm working on it, and I'm always a work in progress. Yeah.
But it's like you said there, if I be real with you from what I've seen, that's why people will get the assumptions of what they're saying. Because you've had arguments with men, and in the arguments you'll say to them, listen, you ain't fucking me. Are you fucking me?
Yeah.
You get me? So straight away people will think, well, obviously she's out here getting fucked, but she's showing him that he can't.
No,
you see what I mean?
I think perception is everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's some people out here that actually see blue when the colour's actually green to other people. So it's all about perception. Just because I'm questioning a wee fucking, like, I'm not being funny, but I ain't asked if Bad Breed's got HIV or World Boss has got this or J Gang's got. I ain't asked. Why am I asked? Again, are we fucking? Like, that's where I'm coming from with it. It doesn't mean that I'm out here skinning out my pussy, because if I was, you would see every single post on my, it would be a reflection of who I am. There's no body pictures of me on my Instagram. I get comments all the time, why don't you post body pictures? Why don't you this? Why don't you that? I go against the grain and people don't like it. And I believe I've actually caused some sort of presence without doing the twerking or pushing up my boobs in the camera and shit like that. And I'll always stay like that. I'm like that in real life, and I'll be like that on the gram. And I think if people are quick to think like that without digging deep or really understanding me, then it's just not your time to hear the message, really. It's one of them ones. Like, if that's how quick you judge a situation, then that sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, but one of the things you said up there that had people thinking away as well is you was in a thing with that Bad Breed girl, and someone made a comment in the post, and then you said to them something about they skinned out their pussy. And you said if you skinned out your pussy, that shit would go viral.
It would though. Like, come on, look at the attention I'm getting, and you're only getting this much up here of me. So if I was to twerk on live, and if I was to skin out my pussy, I believe I'm in with a chance. But I ain't gonna do it. Do you know what I mean? It's not the way I want to do things. Again, it's just a matter of perception of what people have. Do you know what I mean? I've said things online. I'm a bit of a troller, but I wouldn't say I don't really know the true definition of troll anymore. But I've said things online, like, for example, I've seen people say, "You're a fucking man, Sammee," and I'm like, "Yeah, did you know? Yeah, I've got a willy and everything. What do you mean?" Like, I'll say that because it's got to the point where when I first came on Instagram, shit used to get to me that weren't true. You know what I mean? But now it's it's to a big level where I've just got to the point where I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm on gyro. What? Yeah, I used to have a dick. Like, yeah, what? My mum's a man. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's dead. It's dead. Like, to me, the only people's opinions that matter to me is those that are around me, and more than anything, my children.
Yeah,
my children are more woke than half of you motherfuckers out there. So, do you know what I mean?
Okay, well, one of the other things people like to keep throwing up there on this Instagram live is they like to keep telling people they're done out here. So people are saying Sammee's done out here. Is Sammee done out here?
I ain't done out here. I'm as real as they come. Like, and you know, if I'm done out here, why do you keep watching me? Why do you keep coming on next accounts to watch me? Why do you keep coming on fake accounts to watch me and then baiting yourselves out? Because when I go to the conversation, you forgot to delete the conversation we previously had off your main account. So if I'm done out here, why are you watching me? Simple. I'm saying I ain't done out here, but I can't control somebody else's opinion. If they think I'm done out here, like I said, that sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah. Okay, let's get on to something you mentioned earlier so we can clean it up properly.
Yeah.
The talk about your children and your brother.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've made it clear your brother would never do that, never touch your kids.
No.
So just so we know, nobody in your family would
has
ever gone near any of your kids in any inappropriate way.
No. That was just a rumour that started from Ramps and DJ Tory, actually. And I was fuming about that. My brother was fuming about that. He don't even have social media.
Yeah, and he's getting disrespected.
Yeah, that's real disrespect. You're not saying things like, I mean, my family have heard things like, she's a slag, she's a bitch, she's fake, she's that, she's done out here. They can take all that, but the paedophilia thing, like, come on, man. If you lot care about the paedophilia, then fucking help me in what I'm doing, and let's bring them out and protect the community. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, you're on here doing the chatty. You don't give a shit about the children, man. And that's all I've got to say to them. You're disgusting. Your karma's coming. And you know, if you're out here saying all of these things, like, what have you been through then? Do you know what I mean? For you to say something like Ramps, for example, he'll say things to Drew like, your dad nonced you and, sorry to say, sucked your willy and this and that, and it's just like, whoa, like, the guy's got autism. Why, to conjure up something like that in your head, you must have been through that, or have seen that, or understood that to a degree in order for you to, because these men ain't saying normal things. They're coming out with the dirtiest of shit. So it's like, you know what, the people that diss me, fuck you, I don't care. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I know what I am, I know what I'm about, and my life, the way I'm living, to me, proves that I'm blessed. I've got a roof over my head, I never need or want for nothing, ever. Even when I've struggled, blessings have popped out of nowhere. I'm good, man. I don't give a fuck about these people. You don't want to say nasty shit like that, karma heard you. That's all I've got to say to him.
Yeah, the last thing on that, like, you've just really explained it, but I just kind of think, like, what makes people want to go that deep to hurt someone that bad? Like, your brother's not even on social media.
I know.
He doesn't know none of these people. He's not involved in none of it. But they want to try and wreck his life as well. Like, isn't that a big sign to say, you know what, dead it, come off of that social media shit? Because if people want to come like that and really fuck with members of families that ain't even about all this shit. It's a sick world. That Instagram live's a sick world.
Yeah, it is. It is dirty to be saying these things, but for me to come off of social media, in what other way am I gonna spread the truth? In what other way am I gonna do it in this day and age? There's hella kids that I wanna protect right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been a youth worker in the past as well. Like, I've seen and heard stories, real life shit. You know what I mean? Like, these kids going home to situations I can do nothing about. So if I can do something, even if it's social media, I don't give a shit, man. They can talk shit about me. Do you know what I mean? End of the day, I'm tucking my kids into bed.
Yeah.
I'm reading them a story every night. I'm feeding them home cooked food whilst you lot are slapping the Iceland in the microwave. I don't even use a microwave. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, these lot can project what they want. My brother's not a paedophile. I'm not a paedophile, and neither's my uncle. We know that, and as far as I'm concerned, that's all that matters. Do you know what I mean? There ain't ever going to be no evidence because they are not that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, if anything, if I was a snitch, I've said it a couple times, I'm going to take your ass to court for the things that you're saying. Because let's just keep it real. If I wanted to sell cups tomorrow, I'm going to be faced with slander. Yeah. Like, it's going to make it hard for me to push a product because of the things that people are saying about me. But I ain't going to do it. But bare times I've said to these people, make sure you've got a fucking pot to piss in. Because what you're doing right now is defamation of character. You're slandering my name when I've done nothing to deserve it. If you actually had some facts and evidence, heck, take my brother. I'll help you take him to jail. Do you know what I mean? If he did those things. But you're coming out with shit that's not true, and it's a dangerous game what you're playing, because these people take me for somebody that's a nobody. And just because I don't show you my jewellery, just because I don't skin out my pussy on live, and just because I don't have a massive platform, don't mean I'm not well connected in this country. Do you know what I mean? And I'll leave that there.
Okay, let's get on to Timmer Designs.
Right.
Let us know where you started it from, what it is, what exactly you're selling there, and where you want it to push to, and who is supporting you. Like, who is actually buying stuff off you that you can say, you know what?
I have had a couple of, don't know whether you call them underground artists or artists that ain't really blown yet. I've approached artists.
Yeah.
To be honest, I just wanted an extra income. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm all about having more than one form of income. So it started because when I started producing my own show, I was getting fed up of paying people that weren't giving me the work back. Do you know, like to do the thumbnails or the promotion posts and all of that shit, and the logos. And I thought, do you know what, fuck it, like, let me just teach myself. So I taught myself, and then I was just like, do you know what, like, let me just start selling it. So I started selling it, and it's done all right. I can't really complain. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I had Kidavelli approach me. I've done stuff for Nole. I had TK Mad Max reach out. I can't remember off the top of my head. They're all on my page though anyway. I've had DJs, artists, and sometimes I fling up on there things that go on in my head that I can't necessarily put into words, so I'll put it into art if I'm bored, or it's just another creative side of me that needs to come out.
And where do you want to push it to? Like, what do you want to see from it as time goes by?
I'll be honest, I'm not too fussed about it like that. Like, it's more of a therapeutic thing. Like, when I'm on my laptop and I'm doing it, it's kind of like an art thing. Like, I actually enjoy doing it. It's not something that I am gonna be promoting too tough. Do you get what I mean? It's not a passion for me, I can't lie, but yeah, I enjoy it.
Okay, well, let me flip the script now and ask you what you want to see happen with Trevor's clothing, because I can see you busting it
Yeah,
out.
of course, I'll rep Trevor all day long. I want to see Trevor come out. I want to see Trevor prove his trolls and his haters wrong. I want to see him prove that you can have mental health, come from that kind of background, and still make it. Like, there's nothing you can go through in life that can put an end to your chapter, if so to speak. I just want to see him do well. I just want to see him flourish. Like, that's it, really. Okay,
let's get on to this virus, what's going about. What do you see it as? What is your eyes and your ears and your thoughts?
How long you got? I don't want to get your channel shut down, you see. Am I limited to what I can say?
Say what you feel.
Okay, well, I think there's a lot of paedophilia going on. I think the deep state and Trump, Epstein, Clintons, all of them, they're all going at it. There's a lot of corruption going on. People getting paid off to speak the truth. People getting paid off to be deaded off when they ain't really been suicidal or none of that shit. I believe that they put the 5G radiation in China and people got flu-like symptoms, and that caused the people to say, oh, you know, you got coronavirus. So they had the vaccine, next thing you know, they're healed, and that's where I believe it came from. If it wasn't an agenda, why is this virus patented back in USA I can't remember off the top of my head. But I know that JSK, which is GlaxoSmithKline, one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world, that makes your paracetamols and whatnot, Calpols, they patented the virus, basically bought it off of America, patented it in 2016, and it takes about 4 or 5 years in order for a vaccination to be approved, or a virus or whatever. So in 2019, last year, that was when the first couple of coronavirus cases were found in the UK, which just coincides with the whole patent thing. So I believe there's a lot more going on than just 5G radiation. It's the 5G radiation that's doing it. Do your own research, man. Don't, wherever you know, the best thing I'm saying to people, turn that fucking TV off. Turn it off. It's called television because it tells a vision. Then you click onto a channel and then you watch a program. Do you get what I mean? Like, so I think that there's an agenda behind it to depopulate, is that a word? Depopulate. And I believe that the old are going to be out first because they're no use to us, because they don't earn any money to us. I believe that they're going to say to us eventually, you can't get your kids into school unless you vaccinate them. You can't probably go back to work unless you vaccinate. This vaccination is going to have a chip in it. The substance that's in this vaccination that's going to tell you got coronavirus is going to work with the 5G radiation, so that when you are out on the streets, they can pick up where you are and things like that. There's things like nanotechnology that people need to look into. It's fucked. It's fucked. Like, and when you look into it, it's all linked. Like, it's all the paedophilia, the viruses, the radiation. Everything's all linked. The banks are going to shut down. They're going to have us looting on the streets. They're going to have us going into some kind of purge. These films don't just happen for no reason. They're communicating with each other because they can't do it through emails and text messages. They'll get found out. Hence why it's done through fashion, music. This is why I keep saying to people that do music, I'm begging you, make it positive. Like, you guys are programming our kids. Our kids are growing up to thinking this shit is alright, and it's not alright. You're all forgetting there's more of us in the world than there actually is of them. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think I've said what I can say on the matter. I think I might have said too much, I'm not gonna lie, but fuck it. That's my whole point anyway.
Okay, well, I'm going to finish this on the last question. You just said there about what people are programming into their kids. What I'm saying to you is about all these Instagram lives. When you think now for the future, when you go up on any Instagram live, you said one of your daughters is 12. Sooner or later, she's going to be 16, 18. And some of these things that are on there from you, they're pulled onto other channels. So you can't control where they go or what's happening with them. Your daughter's going to see all this stuff. Do you want her seeing all the stuff that's going on with you on this Instagram?
Don't get me wrong. Obviously, as a normal parent, I don't. But the fact of the matter is, she knows me better than anyone. I'm her mum. And she knows I cook and clean for her. She knows at the end of the day I'm doing my job role as a mum. She also knows because I self-educate my children. She's very, very clued up, even on social media. Like, for example, if certain things happen on Instagram, thank you, J Gang. I've had a sit down with her, and I've said to her, listen, love, like, you know, there's certain things going about on the internet, and I know you type mummy's name in there. I can only do as much as I can to stall it or to stop it from happening, but it's not going to happen. I've got to be realistic. Do you know what I mean? I do get triggered, and it's easy enough to sit here and say, no, I won't allow it, I won't say anything bad again. That ain't gonna fucking happen. Like, it's not realistic. But I've sat down and I've had conversations with her and I've said, listen, love, this is what's going round. You might come across this. She's gobsmacked, to be honest. Like, she you know, she knows about the paedophilia accusations. She came to me, you know, and asked me, and you know, I said to her, I said, well, there's this rumour going around that apparently, you know, uncle such and such, you know, hurt you. I don't even think she understands what paedophilia really is. I've told her to a degree. I just say weirdos hurt children. That's as far as I go with it, with a 12-year-old. But I've said to her, you know, there's accusations that uncle such and such is doing such and such. And she sat there and laughed.
Yeah.
And it just taught me, because I thought, wow, like, if she's laughing this off because she knows how ridiculous that accusation is, why am I not laughing it off? Yeah. And that's the point when I stopped really reacting. Like I said, I didn't go to their lives or anything, but I'd sit in the comments and I'd allow myself to get my blood boiling because I wanted to know what was being said. But it's got to the point where I blocked them all because I just thought, what's the point? Yeah. What is the point? How long do I have to sit in these comments on the lives to address the things that are not true? I'm going to be wasting my time. I'd rather put my time. So what I started doing, even though I've been doing it anyway, is when these accusations get said, I put out a live about colloidal silver or black seed oil or what's going on with coronavirus or something informative that helps the public. So you guys look like fucking divs because you're bringing me people that are coming on my page and thinking, hold on a minute, she's woke as fuck. Like, she's talking about stuff that helps families and shit. Like, so in regards to that, I can't stop it from happening. No, I don't want her to see it, but I'm just glad that she's more clued up than men that are past 30.
Yeah. Okay, last thing on this Instagram live. What do you think when you see people taping your lives and putting them on other channels where you ain't got control of what's your actual thing? And then other people are seeing it on there and it's being spread to other things. And then sooner or later it's some bare channels that have got it and it's never coming off.
I didn't know it was on bare channels. I thought it was just UK dual knowledge. You know what it is, yeah? I rate them in the sense where they've took a niche. We're all on here saying what we're saying and they've took it upon themselves to record it, slap it on YouTube and make whatever money they're making from it. That I have to respect. I have to respect that because that was a clever fucking thing to do. Do you know what I mean? However, what I don't respect is when such and such is messaging me, telling me they're going to portray the message I'm trying to portray on that channel. Next thing you know, they flipped it on Kidavelli. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're so bothered, UK Drill, about Kidavelli being a paedophile, well, why haven't you addressed Ramps then? Or do you know Ramps? Or are you a snitch as well? What's going on? Like, because all I see from this man's channel, he's going at Kidavelli all the time. And he's going at AC all the time. So, what's something's not right. I can't really figure it out. And I don't want to figure it out. If I figure it out, best know I'll fucking speak up. But I respect the fact that he's took that niche and done it. I'm already aware when I go live, people are recording and all of it. I mean, I fucking record shit myself. Do you know what I mean? So it don't really faze me, to be honest. I could just kick myself for arguing about dumb shit. But it's took for me to see myself on this channel to realise I better fucking rein it in with certain things that I decide to argue about. If I'm really trying to push positivity, I ain't going to do it by pushing negativity. But like I said, I stay true to myself. If you fuck me off and I've got out the wrong side of bed that day, you're just getting told. I don't care.
Okay, so is there anything that you feel we need to know that I haven't put across to you in this interview?
No, I'd just like to say fuck DJ Tory, fuck J Gang, fuck Ramps, fuck Boss Bully. I ain't done yet. I'm just thinking, fuck ZZ Mills, you're a draw out, you do a shit job. And fuck anyone that don't fuck with me. And that's it. Oh wait, with ZZ Mills, because I know people are going to question where that's come from. Don't fucking act Nole. She's out here doing the most for the community in a positive way. Like, she spits facts in her bars. She's one artist I fully rate. Like, she talks the truth about the industry. She helps people that have gone through domestic violence and mental health. She's actively doing something in the community. This bitch is over here talking about weeds being out of place and shit. That shit is irrelevant. Do you know what I mean? So that's where that comes from. I did not like that. Fuck you, ZZ. You're a dickhead. Then that's about it.
Okay. Big up Sammee Timmars for coming down and sitting with the artist. There's bare man out here that don't want to sit in the chair that you just have. Respect for keeping it real.
Right.
And like I always say, all the young ones out there, don't watch no one. Don't follow no one. Do good by your family, because they're all you got at the end of the day.
100.
Until the next one.